So this is collisions atoms level. So if you click on atoms, it'll take you to the level. The first 5 levels are introductory levels. So in this case, all we're doing is we're putting together components to make up an atom, and the components are called subatomic particles. So in the case it says 1 proton, it tells you what to do. This is a proton. It says tap to create a nucleus. And the nucleus has 1 proton. It says this is an electron. It says tap to add the electron to an orbital. Now swipe left and then swipe up, and we've made our first atom, which is hydrogen. Hydrogen has 1 proton and 1 electron. That's the most stable version of hydrogen. So once we make our atom, we're going to go ahead and drag it to the part, and it lets us complete the level. So these levels are just showing you how to make atoms. So in this case, it says build an atom using all the protons and electrons. So it's pretty simple. We click here twice to add those two. It automatically adds the neutrons to make it stable. And then it says click to continue. So now we're going to add 2 times, 2 protons, 2 electrons, and a neutral atom. That makes our next atom on our periodic table, which is helium. Once we have it made, we drag it to this little box. Okay. The next one, it says the next energy level. So anytime we're adding energy levels, we're adding orbitals. So it says build an atom using all the protons and electrons. So we're going to use all the protons, 2, 3, 4, 5. It automatically adds the neutrons for us to make it stable. Now we need to add if we use 5 protons and a neutral atom, 5 protons, 5 electrons. So we need to add 2 to the first energy level. So it says it's now full because the first energy level is full with 2 electrons. Click anywhere to continue. Now I'm going to add 2 to the next s orbital, because s orbitals can only have 2 electrons. And I have 1 more to go, so it has to go into the next group. So it has to go into these p orbitals. So I'm going to choose an orbital to add an electron, doesn't matter which one. I'm going to put it there. Now, I've used up all my protons and all of my electrons, so I'm going to swipe to close this up. And I made my next atom, which is boron. Once I have boron made, I can drag it down here. You'll notice that the size of the atom has been growing as we add electrons. Let's go to the next level. So the order matters. There's something called the Huns Rule. You'll see the Huns Rule in just a second. So I'm going to build an atom using all the protons and electrons. So I do that by adding my protons first to get 8 protons. In a neutral atom, there would be 8 protons, 8 electrons. So the first 2 can go here. I can't add any more here, so I have to go to the next energy level. I'm going to add the next 2 here. The s orbital is now full. I need to open this up. And now I can add my electrons. So they need to be in a specific order. So let's try to do it the wrong way, okay? So we're going to try to put them like this. Okay, and now that I've tried to do that, I'm going to try to close this up and see what happens. Oh, well, it won't let me close it up. It won't let me close it up because they're not in the right order. So the order that I have to fill this in is I have to put an electron in each of the empty orbitals first, and then I can go back and fill in. So once these had 1 in them, I can go back and fill in my next electrons. So now it lets me close it up, and I have my next atom, which is oxygen. Okay. So the radius matters, or the radii matter. So let's talk about the radii. So it says I have 2 targets. I'm going to build 2 atoms using all the electrons and the protons. So once I do that, I'm going to go ahead and make 2. 1, 2. What if I need to remove a proton? I can remove a proton by taking it away, but I'm not going to. I'm going to add them here. And okay, remember, I had oops, let's take this out. Actually, let's take them all out. Let's show you how you take them all out. I gotta count. So I used 4 of my protons, which means I only need to use 4 electrons. Okay. So I have beryllium. Okay, and this one's going to be bigger than that one. So let's see if I can make it bigger. 3, 4, 5. I use up all these. 1, 2, 1, 2. and 1. Let's close this up. And I have boron. Oh, nope, boron is actually smaller than beryllium, and that happens because I have more protons in the nucleus, so it actually pulls the electrons closer. So I need to make boron first and beryllium second. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. So we can swap it, or I can swap them around like that, and now they're in the right order. Okay, so that's how you complete the first 5 levels. Um, you'll continue from there, and you'll continue to do the rest of the levels as your assignment.